Hello Cruising World, Mick the Suit Guy with you today. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about insurance options, specifically differences between one trip coverage and an annual policy, just to give you an idea. A lot of people may not even know that there is such a thing as an annual policy, but there is. Now, I need to clarify one thing. I am no insurance expert. I'm giving you information that I believe to be correct, but don't take me 100% on my word here. Do your research if you feel you need to. But I've done mine, and I think it's pretty accurate. But I have to stress, because I'm no insurance expert, right? I'm not one of these people that says I know everything. I know a lot, but don't know everything. So we're going to jump in. I'm going to show you. I've got my trusty laptop here. You may be able to see it just in the picture. And I'm going to show you some comparisons between what you get if you book, say, a Carnival insurance and then an annual plan with a different company. So let's take a look first at Carnival. So you'll see it on the screen here. So basically you've got, this is your summary page that you have. And I reckon on average you pay somewhere between $100 and $125 a person. Bear in mind there are several states you cannot book Carnival insurance with, such as a few Canadian places and New York. With the annual plan, I noticed the one I look at, you can't book in New York and Oregon for some reason, but you can book the Canadian one. So just bear that in mind. But basically, you'll see here, it says trip cancellation. In life, you never really know what may happen, but you can rely on the vacation protection trip cancellation. If you need to cancel for some of the most common reasons, severe weather, illness, etc., you'll get 100% of the cost of your trip back in cash. If you need to cancel for any reason not listed in the plan, any reason at all, you'll get 75% back in future cruise credit certificate. So what do you get when you pay your insurance? Well, this is a summary here. Remember, you're going to have to claim this back afterwards through their claims department. So you're not going to get the money straight away, but with everything, there's always a claims process. You get trip interruption up to total trip cost reimbursement. If you must start your vacation late or need to come home early due to illness, injury, and more. Baggage up to $1,500 if your stuff is lost, stolen, or damaged, and up to $500 reimbursement if you have to buy necessary items while your bags are delayed more than 24 hours. Medical up to $10,000 if you get sick or injured on your vacation. And emergency evacuation up to $30,000 for emergency medical evacuation and repatriation services. And the services are provided by Live Travel. So again, this is an outsourced thing that Carnival does. You're not going to make your claim through Carnival, but there's forms and everything you can get links to make your claim. So that's just summarizing it. I'm not going to go into huge detail here. I'm just trying to give you an idea of the difference. Now, if you were to go with a annual plan, this is a company that I use a lot. They're called Arch Roam Light, and I really think they're very good. I love using them. Basically what they'll do is, now age doesn't really matter. It's going to be the same price no matter what age you are on these, unless you're like 90 something, or that might change things. But with Carnival the same. I don't think age makes a difference. So, and I'm estimating when I say about $100 on Carnival. I don't get Carnival insurance. I have an annual plan. So I'm just going by what I see when I book cruises for people. But basically, when you do an annual plan, you're going to select one of four amounts. This is your total trip coverage. You can choose $2,500, $5,000, $7,500, or $10,000. That is going to be the accumulated trip cost over the year. I think most people get their insurance not so much for the cost of the travel or even bags or anything like that. I think they get it for worst case scenarios like medical emergencies. Heaven forbid you have to be airlifted at sea. You saw the Carnival one said $30,000. I saw a bill once for $94,000 for somebody getting airlifted at sea. So, that might be the case of you, it might not. But your insurance on an annual plan is going to cost more depending on how much your trip cancellation limit is. And again, if you do $2,500, that's $2,500 for the year, no matter how many trips you have. If you have 10 trips and they're $2,000 each, you're only going to get $2,500 coverage for all of them. So basically, you'll select which one you want. And then you're going to add the age for each traveler. We put 2 travelers in here at 51. Again, the age doesn't really matter. I did some comparisons. I did 21, 31, 41, 51, 61, 71, and the prices were the same across the board when you get to it. You can do this for more than 2 people as well if you want, but we're basing this on 2 people. Bear in mind, Carnival is going to be in the region of $100 to $110 a person in my experience. So if you did 2 people for a year, at $2,500 trip coverage, this is what it's going to come to. Again, not available in New York and Oregon, but your total is going to be $384. That is for the year, not for one cruise. So obviously, if you cruise a lot, this is something you probably want to look at, or if you travel a lot, not just cruise. And then underneath, it gives you a list of all of the entitlements that you get. And you'll see that some of them are slightly less than Carnival, like the baggage delay. The baggage and personal effects is $1,000 instead of $1,500 on the Carnival one. But what you will notice is that the emergency evacuation and repatriation is $250,000, whereas the one on Carnival was $30,000. So that's a huge difference. Now, that is also a one-time thing, not that you'll have mortal remains, but if you had more than one emergency evacuation in a year, number one, it's not your year, but number two, you wouldn't be able to claim that twice. That's a one-time only thing. Also, the accident and sickness expenses of $25,000, that is for the year as well. Now, on Carnival one, you notice that was, I believe, $10,000. On this one, you got $25,000. That's for the year. So you could accumulate up to $25,000. All of the others, all the other amounts there are per trip. So the baggage is per trip. The trip delay is per trip. The misconnection is per trip. So the only ones to just qualify that, and I did call in to confirm this, the only ones that are not per trip on that list are the emergency evacuation and repatriation of mortal remains and the emergency accident and sickness medical expenses. So that's what you get. So $384 would be for $2,500 coverage. If you were to go to $5,000 coverage, it would go up to $640. If you were to go to $7,500, it would go up to $894. And you'll notice that all the other amounts below are remaining the same. They are not changing. The only thing that's changing is the total trip coverage. And finally, if you did $10,000 total trip coverage, your cost would be $1,148. So my recommendation, for what it's worth, would be to do an annual plan over individual ones. If you travel a lot, if you travel once or twice a year, then you would probably be better doing just a straightforward Carnival insurance. Now, the second question would come, do you need insurance? There's a definite, until this past year when we started to do cruising abroad, we never really got, we never got insurance. And we were one of those people that had the mindset that, well, the amount of money we've saved in not getting insurance, if we ever needed it, we've more than paid for it by now. But then I saw that bill for the medical evacuation off of the ship when the helicopter had to come and get them and they did not have the insurance. And I got scared. Plus, you know, we are today, I'm recording this on Friday, the 19th of July. And this morning, there was a big blackout. All flights got delayed. So even if you were flying in a day early, you had a potential of missing your flight and missing your cruise tomorrow on Saturday. And definitely, if you are planning on flying in the day of the cruise, I would say insurance is an absolute must because there's so much risk involved in flying in the day of. So number one, I would never recommend that. But number two, I would definitely get insurance if you were doing that. So I have a lot of people that look at it both ways. Some people don't get the insurance, some do. I think the way to look at insurance, again, is for the worst case scenarios. That's why we have life insurance. That's why we have car insurance. That's why we have house insurance. We don't have it for small fixes. We have it for big fixes. And the big fix would be medical on these ones. So that's the way I look at it. So, you know, this isn't a hugely long video. I don't want to go into this in too much detail. Mainly, I just want to let you know that there is such a thing as an annual travel plan. You just book it like a couple of weeks before. So if you don't book it on January the 1st when your first trip is in March, right? You would book it on March, right, a couple of days before your first trip. And then it's going to go for 1 calendar year after that. You can't book it that far in advance for those dates anyway. So you can do that. But look at the numbers, look at the value. If you travel a lot, by a lot, I would say more than 3, possibly 4 times a year. Do the math. The $2,500 coverage one there, it's your best value. And you get higher levels on most of the other items, especially the big ticket ones, which, as I covered just now, are the ones I think you would be the most interested in. So having said that, and this is not a sales pitch, well, kind of is, but if you are interested, email me, because I have access to all these and booking these for you. So I can get you the quotes. The quotes I'm showing you, they don't change pretty much to standard. That is what you're going to pay. And it is payable all up front. But, if you are interested in a annual plan, shoot me an email. Again, not a sales pitch. Kind of is, kind of isn't. It wasn't meant to be. It's meant to be informative. But, hey, why not let you know that I can do it and help you out? So, and I have a couple of clients that book both. They book Carnival insurance and they have an annual plan. So that's the way you want to do it. That's makes you feel more comfortable. Absolutely. But yeah, so just some ideas and thoughts and suggestions on the difference between a individual trip plan and an annual plan. Hopefully that was helpful. And what else would be helpful to me is if you would subscribe to this channel. We're slowly picking up. We're not anywhere near the big boys, but we try and make these informative and helpful. So if you subscribe and hit that little bell, you'll get notifications when these videos come out. Like I said, I try and make them as educational as possible on a Saturday. On a Monday, I put out a tips video, and on a Thursday, I put out a cabin video. So we try and cover everything to help your cruise be better. That's about it. If you have your own tips, please send them to me. So there you go. Quick overall overview on individual insurance, annual insurance. What do you think? Put it in the comments. Have you got an annual plan? How did you use it? What did you think? How? And I could be completely off on the amount on those Carnival cruises, but the longer the cruise, the more the insurance is. I do know that. So do the math. And if you want to book it, I can help you. And with that. Oh, my email is coming up at the end, so you can email me questions. But I will see you later, Cruising World. Any questions? Email me anytime. cruisingsuitguy@gmail.com. I promise I'll reply as soon as possible. Want to book a cruise or any type of travel? We are travel agents. Check out our site, elitetravelconnection.com, or email me, mick@elitetravelconnection.com. We are here for you. Finally, subscribe, please. Pretty please. You know you want to. Go on. I won't beg you. Okay, I'm begging. Please. Subscribe. Thank you.